Hello, I'm Trisha Kyner, and this is a video for everyone at Baltimore Clayworks. Today, I'd like to present you all with a special feature on sculpting the face, but with a distinct take. I'm going to offer you men, women, children, dogs, cats, a feminist facial. Feminist because beauty is often stuck on a woman's face, and frankly, as we get older, you may have some trouble dealing with ideas of beauty. But I want to give a shout out for a face that is mobile, changing, and over 40. So with that, everyone welcome. Come on in for the facial. We're going to talk about faces. A friend of mine recently offered me this comment. You are so much prettier than your sculptures. With that, I wrinkled my brow, raised my lip, and said, I never really wanted to be pretty. I always wanted to be smart. I never wanted to be pretty. And pretty is something I distrust because I feel like it's a dress that doesn't let me run. Instead, this feminist has something else to offer all of us. So we're going to say ex-nay to pretty. And instead, I'm going to suggest that all of us, when we look at not only our own visage, but at other people's, seek out something called the sublime. Now, the pretty is merely pretty, but the sublime, man, that's what we think of when we look out at mountains or the ocean. And I'm even going to say perhaps the topography of a grandfather's or grandmother's face, the wonderful ups, downs, bends, and folds. Let's aspire to be sublime. If Roman emperors in the portrait busts got to be sublime, why can't we? Pretty's nothing. Okay, so now I want to offer you some helpful tips because I am a ceramicist, and ceramicists always have helpful tips. Some of you may be figure sculptors and you'll want a tip. So my first one is I'm going to tell you about the nasolabial fold or furrow. It becomes more apparent as we get older. So you see this line right here? That's the nasolabial fold or furrow. As we get older, the skin here tends to become less elastic and fall a little bit, and that makes our crease, our nasolabial furrow, deeper. Now these are so much fun to sculpt. You get your little tool in there and then you round it out like that. And you can see as I'm surrounded, this is a piece, sorry, wrong arm. This is a piece I'm working on and this is a finished piece. I really like these nasolabial folds. They're real mood indicators. You can lift them if you're disgusted. If you're resigned, they can drop. They can even go different directions, which is really fun. That's the nasolabial fold. So next up is the nasojugal fold. That's this area right here. And as we get older, that will become more pronounced too. Again, so much fun to sculpt. Get your tool in there, find this little plateau that starts to happen, sculpt up, down. You may get a little rounder in here. That's real fun to get a tool and just sculpt up. So look for that in your subject, the nasojugal fold. Other good markers in a face with wisdom and sublimeness is, how about the mid-face hollow? That's a favorite of mine too. Here we're going to turn the cheek, always turn another cheek, and you'll see a hollow, whoops, wrong finger, right here. Ooh, I can even see the muscle traversing over it. That is so cool. That is the mid-face hollow, and that becomes more pronounced as we get older. Now that again is a wonderful thing to sculpt, and part two because it creates a nice dark shadow that'll contrast with the light of the cheekbone. Heck, I don't think I even had visible cheekbones till after 40, so thank heavens for the mid-cheek hollow. Good stuff. All right, other things to look for while you're sculpting. This is a real classic. Many of my people in my family just wear it really well. It's called cytosis of the eyelid. Now that is when, if you've spent your life raising your eyebrows a lot, as I certainly have, and especially in the last administration, you'll raise your eyebrows a lot, and this right here may leave a mark from having raised eyebrows all your life and moving your brows. And the skin here too may also soften and begin to droop. At the same time, you've used that muscle a lot, and you'll get these lines going kind of diagonal up in the eye. I think you can kind of see a few in this sculpture here. Cytosis of the eyelid. Wonderful thing to find. If you're a sculptor, it's like a treasure hunt to find these marvelous spots in the face. Next one. How about this one? My face doesn't do this as well as some people. Now, some of you gentlemen out there have a beautiful example of this. This is called the mental crease. And you might think it was right here from concentrating so much, but no. According to those cosmetic surgeons, this is the mental crease. So we must think like this. Lovely thing to find. Again, get your tool, round out here, dive in here. Rodin called it the bumps and hollows. And sculpture a lot is about reflecting and absorbing light. So what I'm suggesting is the face actually gets more interesting as we age because we get more bumps and hollows. Woohoo! All right, I've got a few more things to show you. First, the marionette line. What a great name. A marionette line, let me get the right one here, is this little curve right there. You see it right in there. And it's just a lovely little curve, and I've been playing with it a lot lately. It's one of my favorite parts of the body recently. And what I'm finding as I'm getting older is that this whole area, let me find myself here, is going into several different distinct areas. There's this, there's always been that, my cheek. But then as I get down, there's a little bump here, and then there's another little bump down here. And that's just more fun circles, because repetition makes good art. And if a shape repeats, you create interest. So let's hear it from more shapes. Now, the bottom shape, if we go down here, right, maybe there, is something we're going to call the pre-jowl sulcus. Pre-jowl sulcus. That must mean eventually this will become a jowl. I can't wait. It's going to happen. But for right now, it's just this cute little bump. It's a pre-jowl. All right. Other wonderful markers that appear on faces over 40. There's something called an oral commissur's. What would that be? Well, oral's mouth. So the commissur's are the lines that come here at the end. And maybe they go down, maybe they go up. You might just have a shadow now. Mine are just starting out. I think they're going to go up, which is kind of fun. Maybe that means I smiled more in my life than I frowned. I hope so. Finally, our last vocabulary word, as I looked at these cosmetic websites where they would erase all this beautiful topography, I found one called, get this, bunny lines. The bunny lines are these marvelous things. I don't know if you can see them. Certainly when I wrinkle my nose, I can see them a little right there. Apparently, we get to keep those. So I'm looking forward to having bunny lines in the future, and I'm really looking forward to sculpting them. Some I didn't find in my brief survey of cosmetic surgery tonight were these marvelous lines in the middle from all that concentrating. It's a good student. That wonderful line right there. Again, you put your tool and with pressure push out both sides, you can get that no problem. You can see this lady has a beautiful one right here. Other lines I like, this is due to the fact that we have a bunch of muscle right here. We'll get little lines here, the fact that we've used our mouth a lot over time. So I guess that's it. That's your brief tour of the wonders of the face over 40. These are markers to look for, and I will say they're not in very many anatomy books because the ideal is still young. But I have hope. I want you all to think sublimely of yourself and enjoy what you see. Thank you very much.